Now we are going to start with the saturated hydrocarbon, that is the alkanes, right. So this is our alkane. So I'm just going to introduce alkane first to you. So see that alkanes are actually, you know that they are the compound in which what you get to see that there is all bond between carbon and carbon are the single bond, right. So that means when you are going to see the compounds, so when they contain only a single bond between them, then obviously it belongs to a member of or you can say it is a member of alkane. So obviously they are single bond ones. And you know that what is the common name for all alkanes? They are actually called as paraffins. You know that what do we mean by paraffins actually? Paraffins means low reactivity, or you can say low affinity. Alkanes are somehow actually stable, they don't react much. So, or we can say that they have low affinity to react with some of other compound. The reason being they are themselves stable, but they react under drastic conditions, that is the high temperature and high pressure. Obviously, if we apply those type of conditions, they can show a certain reactions, right. But you can say that like in general when we talk about alkanes, so we say that alkanes are somehow stable compound and they have low affinity or reactivity, that is why they are said to be paraffins. So whenever you encounter a term paraffins, that means the low affinity which refers to alkanes, right. Now what is the suffix actually used? The suffix used to denote alkanes is ane. As you can see, methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, they are all alkanes and all of them end actually with the suffix that is ane, ane. Now the general formula, if we talk about, all the alkanes obey this formula, that is CnH2n plus 2, where this n, this or this n refers to number of carbon atom in chain. Otherwise all the alcohols, all the alkanes, methane, ethane, propane, they all actually obey this formula, that is CnH2n plus 2. Now if we talk about its members, as you know that it contains all single bond and we can have the members starting with the minimum one carbon atom and may extend up to many. So we have the homologous series. What is the homologous series? I think you know that we did in the general principles of organic chemistry, that is they are the members of the same family which possess many similarities, and the only difference is that the first member differs from the successive one by CH2 group and the mass by 14 AMU, right. So if we take into consideration the homologous series of the alkanes, then it is actually the methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane and decane. That is, we have just like increased the carbon atom one by one, and by using the different word roots I have just list the members in their order of occurrence. So that is methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane and decane. So this is the homologous series for the alkanes. Now you know that the carbon atom present in all of them actually, if we talk about hybridization, so it is sp3 hybridized. That means one S and 3p are actually involved in the this thing bond formation. For example, I'll show you with an example, but you know that in chemical bonding we have already done that how the compounds of carbon actually get formed when it is alkane, alkene or alkyne. So just refer to that video of the chemical bonding. There we just learned about the hybridization. So if we talk about the hybridization of alkanes, so in all the members of the alkane, each carbon is actually sp3 hybridized, right. So this is what is the hybridization. Now coming to the IUPAC, you know that International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, they have just suggested the method that how you can give names actually to a compounds, and the name should be universally accepted. This is what is the IUPAC dealing with, right. So if we talk about the members, so suppose if I have a member, let's say CH4, right. So if I am going to write its name, obviously it don't have any prefix, so we are just going to write the word root and I'll just join the primary suffix because it is just indicating the type of bond. So the name for this is one carbon, that means the word root is meth, because it is an alkane, because you can have the structure all single bonds, so it is called as methane. Likewise, if we have C2H6, I can write the structure as this form. So in this, how many carbon atoms you get to see? 1 and 2. So that means it is eth, There's no prefix, but there is obviously a suffix, primary suffix indicating the type of bond. So type of bond is single, so name becomes ethane. So likewise we can have methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane likewise. And if we talk about the nomenclature actually of the if it is a branch like structure, then we obey a certain rules. You know that we did in again organic chemistry, the principles of organic chemistry, that how to do naming or how to by IUPAC you can follow certain rules and just name the compounds. I am doing just making you revise that with few examples. So this is what is my compound of alkane, obviously all single bonds, so that means it is a member of alkane. So first what I am going to do is I am going to select the longest chain. So here if I get to see that my longest chain is this one. Now this and this is my side chain. Second step is that I have to number the carbon atoms of the parent chain, and I have to keep this in mind that the carbon atom carrying the substituent should get the lowest number. Right. So I am just going to do that. So if I number from this side 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means this carbon with substituent gets the number 2. And if I number from this side 1, 2, 3. So my carbon gets 3. So obviously I am going to give preference to the 2 one, because we use, this is a rule actually, that the carbon which carries a substituent, the lower is the number, the more it is preferred. Right. So that means I need to number like this. Now I need to write name. So the order of writing the name is prefix, word root, primary suffix and secondary suffix. So here is my prefix actually, it is CH3, CH3 at position 2. So I need to specify 2 times 2, 2, 2, because it is the same group. So I will be prefixing di, and this is the methyl group. So it is 2, 2 dimethyl. Second is by word root 1, 2, 3, 4. That means but, and primary suffix indicating the single bond is butane. So it is 2,2-dimethyl butane. Likewise the second one, again we need to select the longest chain, we need to number it. So if either I number from this side or this side, this carbon is going to get only 2 position. So that means I can number it from either side. Now it is 2,2-dimethyl again, because at same position there is 2 methyl groups, right? 2,2-dimethyl propane, because it is a member chain of 3 carbons. Likewise in this I get to see that there is a compound that is the ethyl group. So I need to open it first. Right. So now I am going to select the longest chain. So this is my longest chain obviously, and when I number it, so obviously you can look for that if you number from this side, this methyl group carbon is going to carry somehow the more number, but if you get this side, it is going to get the least number. So we will be preferred from that side. So now prefix is 2-methyl hexane, because it's a chain of 6 carbon. So this is how you need to attempt the nomenclature for the branched compounds, that means the branched alkanes, right. Next we talk about the isomerism. Isomerism is actually a phenomena in which the compound possess the same molecular formula but possess the different structure actually. The compound has same molecular formula but different structure. So if we talk about the isomerism, then you can, I think it clearly strikes your mind that isomerism is actually of 2 types, structure and stereo. Right. So out of that actually the alkanes follow the structural isomerism. That means there can be difference in the structure but not the stereoisomerism, right. And in the structure we have many kind of isomerism, chain isomerism, position isomerism, we have this thing, a functional isomerism, we have many kind of isomerism. So here we are going to take 2 isomerism which is shown in the alkane. One is the chain and other is the position, chain and the position. Right. So if we talk about the chain isomerism first, so you should be curious to know that what kind of isomerism it is actually going to possess. So methane, ethane, propane, they cannot be more condensed or their structure cannot be changed more. So that means they do not possess any kind of chain isomerism, methane, ethane and propane. But but onward we get to see the isomerism. So just see that. So suppose this is my butane. Right, so this is my normal butane. I am going to write this is my normal butane. Now I can just condense it. I can move this group to this place and it becomes like this. So when you're moving some compound here to here, keep in mind that you need to this thing satisfy the 4 valencies. It should not exceed 4. So what I've done is I have just removed one H from here and added that H to this place. So that is why it becomes like this. So it is now isobutane. So isomer of butane. Likewise, you can do it for pentane. So see, if this is my pentane, so this is my normal pentane. Now I am going to condense it, right? So I can move this group to any of the center carbon. So I can write this, suppose I have put here. So this is my isopentane, that means isomer of pentane. So do I have the opportunity to condense it more? Yes, we do have, because we can condense at least up to 3 carbon atoms in a straight chain. So that we are just left with one more, so we can condense it in this way. So I have moved this to this place. So this is my general name is neopentane. But if I talk about the IUPAC names, it is butane, it is 2-methyl, this is pentane, this is 2-methyl butane because 4 carbons, and it is 2,2-dimethyl propane. So likewise, these are actually the common names which you use to indicate that they have actually undergone the isomerism. Now the types of carbon atom in a chain. So see, whenever I'll just explain you in this example. Whenever any carbon is attached to 0 or 1 carbon, it is said to be 1 degree. That means if it is attached to 0 carbon or 1 carbon, it is said to be 1 degree, that is the primary. If it is attached to 2 carbon atoms, it is said to be 2 degree. And if it is attached to 3 carbon atoms, it is said to be 3 degree. So likewise, we can do it actually. So here what we get to see is this carbon is attached to 1 carbon atom, so that means it is 1 degree. This carbon is attached to 2, so it is 2 degree. This carbon is attached again to 2, 2 degree. This is again 2, 2 degree, and this is 1 degree. And if we talk about same in this example, this carbon is attached only directly to 1 carbon atom, so obviously 1 degree. And this is attached to 4, so it is 3 degree, and this is 1 degree. So that means you can classify as primary, secondary and tertiary depending upon that a carbon atom is joined to how many carbon atoms. So we have primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, we can have that. Now we talk about the alkyl groups. Alkyl groups are also actually derived by replacing one of the hydrogen from the alkane. Like we have methane, this is a methane. So if I replace one hydrogen atom, it becomes CH3 bond, right? So it becomes alkyl group now. Suppose I am just removing one hydrogen from ethane, it becomes ethyl group. If I remove it from propane, it becomes propyl group. So that means we can get actually alkyl group by replacing or by just removing the one hydrogen from the alkane, and what do we get as a product? Obviously we get the alkyl group. And the general formula for the alkyl group is just similar to the alkane. The difference lies is that in this case we are going to +2, here we are going to +1 because one hydrogen is being replaced, right? So that means we are just going to replace that. So this is actually a basic introduction of the alkanes. Now we are moving on towards the preparation, because now our criteria that how we can actually form the alkanes.